Welcome everybody to JCTV and Happy New Year. We are in 2022. I can't believe that we are already in 2022. My name is Josh Copernell, bringing you live from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I've got my co-host and friend Adam Coonan here. Adam, how are you doing tonight?
Doing great. Excited to get back here into the booth and more racing here to finish off this half of the season.
And we are at the halfway point in the race, in the season rather. As soon as the checkered flag drops tonight, the season will be half over. Qualifying is getting underway. JCTV qualifying award. So far, nobody has claimed 2 poles yet. We've had 5 different pole winners. So we see Zach Probst out first. Before we really get too far into qualifying, though, who is your pick to win tonight?
Well, I'll go with Joey Chapman in the number 60 truck. He had a pretty fast lap in practice, so let's see what he can do. He's had a pretty solid season so far in his part-time entries, but we'll see what he can do tonight.
I'm going to go with Hayden Lowell. This is a different track than what we've seen really all year. All we've seen, with the exception of Bristol, has been tracks that are almost in comparison to Daytona and Talladega. That one and only race that we did not have at a big track was Bristol. And Hayden Lowell started on the pole. He dominated the race. He did not win, but I think Hayden Lowell gets it done tonight.
That's not a bad pick, Josh, and it's great to see him back in the field tonight, obviously. After 2 weeks ago, he couldn't show up after a medical emergency with his father, so we're glad to see him back here in competition tonight.
Absolutely good to see him back tonight, and it was unfortunate. I was looking forward to racing with him, at Michigan a couple weeks ago. It was very unfortunate that he wasn't able to be there because of the circumstances. But glad to see him back tonight, and hopefully ready to race. We actually have Hayden Lowell taking his laps, and he puts it on the pole in his lap so far. P1.
Yeah, it looked like a one and done from him. Why not?
Here we see the number 12, Cameron Caldwell, making his qualifying laps. Look at Alonso Chocano going to the top of the board with a 30-32. Caldwell is
just by 100th of a second. Chocano got knocked down to second by Grayson Wood in his debut tonight.
That was on lap 1 too. Grayson Ward now taking his second lap. He is sliding off 4.
Big power slide though through the corner.
And he's probably really happy he got that blistering lap in first as his first lap. That second one was 3/10 slower, running a 30.60, I believe. Kevin Mon taking his first lap. One of the unique characteristics about this track, Adam, is the progressive banking. You're not really going to see guys on the bottom lane, which you would think would be the quickest way around here at this track. But surprisingly, it's a lane up that is the lane that these guys will choose to be in. It's in that second groove.
Yeah, this track's obviously been one of the most unique on the schedule just because of, as you mentioned, the progressive banking and how flat it relatively is, and the size of it, really. And I think that's really why it's called the Magic Mile, just because of how things can just happen here, and a lot of upsets, a lot of first-time winners, and we see first-time pole winner in his debut tonight here, Josh.
Yeah, the JCTV Pole Award goes to Grayson Ward, making his series debut tonight. And we've seen quite a few times where drivers making their series debut has won the pole award. Be interesting to see what Grayson is able to do with this competition. You know, how well series regulars like Alonso Chocano is able to hang with him.
And that's one thing you mentioned about Hayden Lowell at Bristol a couple weeks ago, how fast he was at Bristol. He was untouchable for most of the race, really, and he started on pole position and dominated that race until the very end, unfortunately for him. But we'll see how that 19 truck can do against this field of series regulars.
Before these guys start rolling off the grid, let's look at our point standings. Right here you see Cameron Caldwell. He's got points lead, 190 points. He's ahead of Alonso Chocano, second place. Driver the number 25 truck. Starting outside pole, 17 points is the gap between the two drivers. And, you know, it seems like Caldwell keeps having these great races and Chocano keeps having these bad races, but in the end, Chocano finishes pretty good. So Caldwell's not really been able to pull away. Quick look at our team point standings. Radius Racing leading by a ton of points over Misfit Motorsports. 180 is the difference. Drivers getting ready to take the green flag around Magic Mile out in New Hampshire. This track, it does drive like a speedway and a short track all at the same time. Pace truck enters down to the safety of pit road. Grayson Ward turns them loose. There, green flag. Great jump by Ward there. Not the greatest start out of Chocano. He's already faded back to third as Hayden Lowell is able to use the bottom to get by Chocano and take second place away.
Yeah, and that's one thing a lot of these drivers are going to keep watching throughout the rest of this race. See, Chocano second, he's already in third, as you mentioned. He's holding on to deal life to keep fourth. He's going to get it there on Chapman off the exit, though. But choose cone in effect. We'll probably talk about that a lot later. What did those guys see from that top lane that they won't like? So, pretty great launch just from Ward, as you mentioned. He's clear by quite a few truck lengths here.
Not a lot of side-by-side action very early on. Drivers found a way to get single file. Right here we have 57 truck. Matthew Rodriguez getting a little squirrely there, but I was going to say number 12 and 62 side by side. Rodriguez, we got a caution.
A lot of action happening right there as soon as you said not much, Josh.
It's like the 86 of Watermolen. With some damage, 63. Nick Dornick. Let's take a look to see what happened here. It's like, oh!
Wow.
Clifford Corvu got into Dornick, and
Joe DeVede caught up in that as well, it looks like. Those are teammates too, Clifford Corvu and David. Yeah, you got right in the back of poor Nick Dornick there. Looks like he wasn't ready to break for the corner. David Durand getting a piece
20.
of it too there. Or Justin Durand in the 20, excuse me.
Mike involved as well, maybe? Actually, I think Mike was able to get through. Look here, we got some trucks on pit road. Number 4, Clifford. 20 of Justin Duran. 63 of Dornick. You know, I have to say, usually when I see a C2 graphics truck, it's red. But I really like the blue on that truck. Very, very unfortunate for C2 graphics and Dornick be involved in that incident.
Yeah, no surprise we saw all of our leaders stay on track. Just those damaged trucks came in for repairs. See, excuse me, Grayson Ward leading the field here under caution still. Hayden Lowe in second, and Cam Caldwell lost a spot to Zach Probst there as we saw them fighting right before that caution came out.
What's your guesses here, Adam? You think these guys are gonna choose more bottom lane or high lane for the restarts?
Oh man, it'd be tough to not pick the bottom after what I saw from that initial start, but that could have just been something Alonso messed up. So that's the thing you never know with the line games here this early in the race.
Definitely interested to see what these guys are gonna pick. I wonder if Hayden Lowell might just go with the opposite of Ward, or to try to get an even restart.
That'd be tough for him because he got a pretty good restart from what he started third on the initial start. He got right by Alonso really easy, and he hung in line. So it looks like he is going to take that outside lane so he can try to fight him. And Alonso kept the top. It looks like that's surprising to me. Maybe there is something in the top lane. He couldn't use that on the initial start. We'll see here, I guess.
Hayden Lowell did take the opposite lane, so Lowell at the top, Ward with the bottom, as you said, Chocano at the top, Chapman choosing the bottom, Probst with the bottom, and Caldwell with the top. First 3 rows. Pace truck is back in, and Grayson Ward gets a great restart once again. This time the outside lane got a better start, but Alonso Chocano, he is now hung out there. I think Alonso might attack the wall there.
He got pretty close with it, racing Chapman there for that fourth position. He didn't get a very good launch on that bottom as I thought he would after what we saw the 69 truck do on the initial start. And as you mentioned, Hayden Law, what a great start for him on the outside. And Alonso did get that spot from Chapman there on the back straightaway, as you saw.
Alonso Chocano trying to keep his truck up there. He wants desperately to finish ahead of Caldwell so that he can actually take that 17-point gap and shrink it. And there are bonus points for leading laps in this in the ITPN Truck Series. So if he's able to get up there and lead a lap, wow! Look at Probst on that bottom lane.
He really sent it on the inside. Wow.
Side by side is Probst. The number 60. Now he's going to be fading back just a little bit. That's going to allow Caldwell to try to sneak up on the outside. If Probst isn't able to close that hole, Caldwell does get there. He just had such a better exit of 4.
Yeah, Probst is, running the opposite strategy. These guys obviously on the racetrack. He's diving in and trying to kind of triangle or diamond the corner, and he's doing a good job at it. But the only thing is, he pays such a big penalty on the exit of the corner. As you see, Cam Caldwell, he keeps getting big runs on the 62 truck on the straightaways. As you see, Probst almost get it opening on the corners, but it goes all the way right there.
Probst able to sneak in behind Caldwell there, and I'm very, very interested in the fact that these guys are driving it so high up the track in the corners. So here we see Chocano trying to make a move underneath number 69 of Hayden Lowell. Still not able to complete the pass, but now Chocano's going to look even higher than Lowell there.
One thing these drivers are going to be facing here that other drivers aren't really doing, it might be shifting in turn 3 and 4. We talked to a lot of guys before the race who said they will be shifting, and some won't be though. That might be a situation we see Probst here doing on the inside, running that the shorter line. He probably won't have to shift as much as the guys running the outside.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure the drivers that are going way wide out into that dark gray on the outside of the turns, they've got to be shifting out there. Hayden Lowell, he gets really loose there off exit, right next to that wall.
Well, Alonso kind of sent it in there. He's been trying to get the spot for quite a few laps, as we've seen, and he's had more speed. It looks like he just can't find a way around the 69, who keeps using that top lane. See, good advantage here down the back straightaway. Looks like 25 has the... Almost. 69's going to get right back to him.
Oh, man. Chicano's not giving him much room there on that outside. He's trying to use every inch he possibly can. I think Chicano's going to clear entry, but Lowell says no.
Wants on right here. He really wanted to keep finding that position, but he just couldn't there, you saw.
I almost thought Lowell was going to try the crossover move there for a moment, but I think he decided not to, as now Lowell looks to the inside, but Chocano, I think, has a preferred lane now that he's around Hayden Lowell.
Yeah, Hayden's trying to find any way back around him now.
Inside the truck of Hayden Lowell here as he is right behind Alonso Chocano. And you did hear the little shift there, so let's take a listen here. Downshift. There is the upshift. He's shifting pretty early, staying off the gas for a very, very long time, and getting back in it. Sounds like he's getting back in the fourth gear, about a quarter of the way down the straightaway.
These two still going at it right now for the moment, and they are quite a ways behind Grayson Ward, 3 seconds about, and well, just over 2, excuse me. It has shrunk a little bit. It was more than that, but I think the 19 truck has caught some lapped vehicles, it looks like.
Would have been the lap truck of Nick Warnick. Aiden was around.
Yep, 63 is now 2 laps down after his crash early. And we saw on the ticker there Justin Duran's out of the race, involved in that crash too. On, I believe it was lap 2, Josh, right?
Lap 2 or 3, I can't 100% remember.
Another early crash, but we got past lap 1.
Back here, Brian Haynes. Back up here battling with Cameron Caldwell. The 6th spot.
Back behind the wheel.
That is the same Brian Haynes that was in the booth a couple times this season, a couple weeks ago at Michigan International Speedway, so I could be out there in the truck. Big thanks to him and yourself as well for covering that race, so I could go out there and race with these guys. So good to see Brian out there, and
yeah, absolutely, Josh. It was fun to work with him last week, and we see big send there from Kevin Amon on the inside. Great position here, well, great battle for position in 7th. And yeah, it was fun to see you out there, Josh. You had a great race last week with the JCTV radius machine, so that was fun. And glad to see you out there, man. Glad to see Brian out here too, of course. He's having a little rough time though. Got passed by Amon there. He's still struggling with his truck, it looks like.
Wow. Big
From
send
the other
there.
Amon. Auto.
Meanwhile, Caldwell, he's in the middle of all this. He's trying to hang on. Very tight battling there between these drivers. Oh, Brian Haynes. Yeah.
More contact. I think he did that a few laps ago to someone else. He's pretty aggressive, it seems like. And this is surprising to see Caldwell back here so far this early.
Yeah, Caldwell, you know, interesting stat. You know, Caldwell has finished in the top 2 every single week so far through the 5 races that we have done, winning at both Auto Club in Michigan, finishing 2nd at Daytona, Las Vegas, and Bristol.
Yeah, he's of course had a great season up to this point, but he jokingly said earlier he's kind of upset because he doesn't have as big as a point lead as he thinks he should have. So we see pit stops beginning here.
A couple of drivers in pit road. Do not believe it's going to be for scheduled service. Joe DeVite and Tyler Watermullen.
Yeah, DeVite was in that early crash, and see Watermullen had damage there, I believe, and he is what poked the car, so or poked the truck, excuse me. So his day looks like to be done for the moment, at least.
After all that work to get around Hayden Lowell, Alonso Chocano, he hasn't been able to pull away from Lowell, but still ahead of Hayden and losing time to Grayson Ward. Alex Grayson is putting on a clinic right now. Back here we got a swarm of trucks. Kyle Reuter kind of behind everybody. Zach Probst qualified, looks like P4, and he's all the way back here in 11th.
Yeah, we saw him digging on that bottom early. He's still down though, but I wonder if that had something to do with him dropping this many positions. Is his truck set up for the bottom and he can't keep it and he's just having issues with it, or did he wear off the tires, or who knows? But you know, he's probably gonna make a big adjustment, or try to, on this pit stop so he can reverse this hopefully and get him back up there. Oh, is that someone in the water? That looked like Brian Haynes maybe.
Not sure who that was. The 86. Brian Haynes, who that could have been.
Right side looks pretty clean, so maybe I was just imagining it.
Back here for 18th place, we've got Dawson Allen and Clarence Feldner.
Yeah, the right side of that truck doesn't look as pretty as the 86, unfortunately. And he's going to have a lap truck interfere with him on the bottom, it looks like. He's going to follow right behind Nick Dornick while trying to chase the 77 truck and get massively tight. It looked like they're in the center. Wow.
He is using all of that track.
Yeah, he's definitely fighting his truck more than anything right now. Ooh! I think that's apparent from that damage. That was a big shunt, though. Fortunately for him.
Looks like we've got a battle between Hayden Lowell and Alonso Chocano. That's what we were switching over to at the moment of that contact. And Hayden Lowell, he is underneath Chocano, trying to take that second place away from Chocano. So now roles are reversed. Hayden Lowell on the inside, Chocano on the outside. We'll see if Hayden was able to learn something from when Chocano was doing the exact same thing. Chocano's able to hold on to the outside pretty well for the moment.
It just seems like whenever these trucks are side by side down the straightaways, they looked evenly matched, which is very interesting as we see the 69 make a pass on the bottom. Pretty strong move though.
Now Alonso Chocano back to second place with Hayden Lowell, the leader. And got a lap truck in front. He didn't give Hayden much room.
Right in the way. Oh, 69 made a great job just barely avoiding Nick Beatty there. Oh, that could have been really, really disastrous for both him and Alonso Chocano. Looks like Hayden Lowell's kind of stretching it a bit from Alonso there, as we see we're farther back in the pack here. Kevin Amon going on the 60 of Joey Chapman. Kevin's gained quite a few spots we've seen so far in this run.
Kevin Amon doing a good job. Running fifth place.
See, as they pass the 32, his brother right behind him, staying in his tire tracks. I believe they were running nose to tail earlier. I don't recall either one of them setting a time in qualifying, so I think they started out back, and they have just carved their way through the field, and it's not surprising to see either one of these guys do this. They're both race guys, so this is obviously something we should expect out of these two, I would think, at this point.
And you would be correct with that. Kevin and Kyle started 20th and 21st. So they have worked their way up. Into the top 5 for Kevin, just outside top 5, 6th place for Kyle.
Well, Kevin's going on Chapman here, so we could have another change of position up here in the top 5 real soon. He's trying to work that lower line on the 60 truck.
It's like Chapman is really using as much track as he possibly can to help keep Kevin Amon behind him. Cameron Caldwell is fallen all the way down to 10th place. He's got a little bit of a gap between himself and 11th. Right now, Caldwell is running behind teammate Alexander Kerpan. 30 truck right in front of him. We have Clarence Feldner currently P18 going a lap down to Grayson Ward.
Grayson now has a 5-second lead on the field right now. So pretty dominant day so far, as we keep mentioning, and filling that gap. And 18 trucks, well, it's now 17 on the lead lap, and just 43 laps into this race. Well, excluding the caution, only, what, 35? So pretty long run starting here, obviously, and we'll see how long it takes us to pit stops, but he should be good to go for a while unless something unfortunate happens to him. But great day going so far, of course.
Battle between Kevin and Joey Chapman. Kevin able to get a hole ahead of Joey there. And brother Kyle Amon right behind them. His number 17 truck. Both drivers part of 717. Truck number 44 of Andrew. Excuse me, Andrew. Pit road. battle here between Zach Probst and Matthew Rodriguez.
Zach Probst picking up some spots since we last talked about him, so...
Oh!
Ooh! Man, that was close for Matthew Rodriguez. Wow, I couldn't tell who that was quite.
Dawson Allen.
Oh man, that's not his first run-in with the wall as we've seen tonight, and he is thankfully bringing that beat-up F-150 into pit road. What an unfortunate night for him so far, but very lucky at the moment for these two, as Probst is going to take it to the inside of Rodriguez. As I was saying, 62 seems to have a long-run truck, or at this point that's what it looks like, as he's survived his free fall through the field up to 8th, trying to get 7th from that 57 truck.
And going, saying that it appears he has a long-run truck. Thing about the In the Pits News Truck Series, they do use fixed setups. Everybody has the same setup, so it's really up to the driver. So Probst here, has been able to what appears, take the setup that he's using and make it a longer run setup. Whereas other drivers probably not having as much success with it as Probst looks to be at the moment.
Yeah, 57 pulled away from him again, so bit of a gap there between these two. And we saw last week Matthew Rodriguez, race of his season so far, sat on the pole, led the most laps, came away with a 3rd place finish, and he went up quite a few spots in points. He's up to 10th now, so pretty solid run for him so far in the standings, as we see Alonso Chocano down pit road from 2nd place, or 3rd place it was.
So it looks like pit stops have started here. This could very well be scheduled pit service number 25 truck on lap 52 is what I was trying to say there. So Alonso taking his service, and away he goes. Number 12, Cameron Caldwell, now on pit road for his service. Pit speed is 45 miles per hour here at New Hampshire. So I'm curious now. We saw a driver in 3rd place. Alonso Chocano already come in. He's got fresh tires. How long does Grayson Ward stay out? Here's the number 4 of Clifford Corvu in pit road.
Yeah, it wasn't surprising really to see both Caldwell and Chocano pit on similar laps so close together, with how close they work together on everything during the week. So I'm surprised not many followed them besides Clifford Corvu here. So we'll see how far they can stretch it to, if anyone stretches it all the way, or what the strategy is going to be here with the top 2 in the championship going lap down here. See if that traps them, laps down, and could really impact the race here.
Looks like Clifford taking some damage repair. He's still on pit road, but so far your leader, Grayson Ward, who's led every lap so far, is still out on track. Alonso is about not too far behind him, so You know, the longer Ward stays out, I think the more it's going to hurt Ward to start off his run, but it's going to help him once his tires really kick in. We'll see really how far the gap is between the two once Ward does decide to pit.
Yeah, and another thing on top of that, Josh, is the traffic. We saw, I think, Alonso blend right behind the 7 of Kevin Amon, so that's a fast truck. So he probably won't be able to get around him really quick. So it's going to be a challenge for more of a challenge for Alonso now than it will be for Grayson later when his cycle switches, as we see Dakota Knoll coming pit road here too.
Dakota Knoll.
Alexander Kofan also down. He's the first of our top 10 besides Chocano and Caldwell to come down. See him there.
There's Kofan. Bunch of drivers in pit road now. We got 17. Rather, that's going to be the 86, Brian Haynes. 54 of Ryan C. Smith. It's like the 9 of Kyle Reuter. And now, the 19. Grayson Ward comes down in pit road. 717 motor drivers, Kyle and Kevin Amon, they both were down pit road as well.
Hayden and Law also took service. I believe he just left with the 7 truck.
Right side, or left side's going up. That truck going around now is Chocano. So Chocano is ahead of Grayson Ward now. And that gap is not that much here. Grayson should easily be able to get up there with the amount of laps that Chocano's had on his tires, which is only 10, but it's definitely enough to affect them.
Yeah, we saw this 19 so lights out in the beginning, so I don't expect anything to be different here as we see. Big mistake there for the 25 into turn 1, and the 19 just take advantage of it, and he's going to be right on the back bump of Chocano down this back straightaway. All that advantage you mentioned a lap ago, gone. Why these guys fight for what will become the lead. Kyle Amon stayed out long. He is the leader right now. Matthew Rodriguez hasn't pitted yet. Zach Probst hasn't pitted yet, and they are on track ahead of these guys right now. Battle for position almost. He almost got into him. Almost had a shot. You see, 69, Hayden Law, he's looking. He can fight for this. If these two keep fighting long.
They're going to be side by side, and I think Hayden wants Chocano try to keep Grayson is down there as long as he can, but it ain't gonna be too long for Grayson to get by Chocano. Now, how hard is Chocano gonna be on Hayden once Hayden gets up there? Number 57.
I think
Matthew Rodriguez down pit road.
I think Alonso has to let the 69 go and see what he can do here, because Alonso had no shot racing against the 19 there. He won't have any shot racing the 69. You see he kind of pulled out of the way there, it looked like. So let's see if Hayden Law on a little bit fresher tires, I think, on the race leader 19. Maybe they pitted on the same lap, but we'll see what he can do now that the lead has shrunk so much.
I believe it is a 1 lap difference between Hayden and Ward. Yes. Lowell pitted 7 laps ago, Ward pitted 6 laps ago, so they're Ward has 1 lap
Wood
of
has the advantage then, yep.
1 lap of advantage.
And he's got the clean air to boot, and he should pull away here, but let's see if any adjustments on that 69 truck have helped him.
Zach Probst exiting pit road, and he's got a little bit of an advantage on fresher tires than the leaders, although he's going to be a whole track behind them if he's able to get back to get his lap back. That is, he's now 1 lap down.
Yeah, that's the downfall on running really long, so you lose so much track time while the other guys are on the fresh rubber, so there really isn't a positive on running it unless you get a caution, and that's probably what he was going for there.
I can't help but to laugh at him because, you know, to go on your point there, we have a yellow, actually.
Oh, there it is. He just missed it by a couple laps, unfortunately. They probably couldn't run this far anyway, so that's unfortunate for him as we have a truck wrecked. David Duran is crashed at the start-finish line.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting. He had a lot more speed than that 63 truck there, and it showed.
I wonder if it was just a misjudgment on how much room he had off exit.
Yeah, that's a very interesting spot of the track in general, just because of the way the lines work out and the way the track comes together there. It looked like the 77 might have got a piece of that too, as he was kind of innocent out of the way. See, these guys are all kind of going to funnel and try to go all in the same spot, and obviously it won't work there.
Right here we see Ward staying out, bunch of the top drivers staying out. Caldwell in pit road, and actually Hayden Wool. Alonso Chocano as well as the number 9 of Kyle Reuter. All came down pit road.
That's a surprise that we saw Hayden Law come down pit road, considering how fresh his tires were, especially where he was on track. He's going to lose, I would assume, quite a few spots, but there's not many lead lap trucks, so he might. Yeah, there's actually only. Yeah, he actually won't lose many spots, actually. After the green flag pit stops, there were so few lead lap trucks, he'll be, what, 5th? 4th? 3rd?
I have to say, I really like that call.
Yeah, I didn't realize how many trucks really went a lap down through those pit sequence, but we wait for this to update 7th, it looks like. So farther back than we thought, but still pretty good, all things considered, right?
Adam, I want to actually pull in Brian Haynes and interview him. Brian, it's Josh up in the booth. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Going pretty good. How's the race treating you out there?
Not great. I really beat up my right front. It's been a while since I've run a flat track. I'm usually pretty decent, but I'm not used to the tire wear, so kind of wore out my right front, went a lap down. So we'll see how things shake out.
You have any plans of trying to get back out there and maybe use what you've learned so far to use that to the end of the race?
Yeah, I mean, if we can get back on the lead lap and get a short sprint at the end, I think we got a good truck that can finish in the top 10, maybe squeak a top 5. But it's really going to be about getting the getting a lap back. So we'll see here. We're getting ready to go green, so we'll see what happens.
Alrighty, we'll let you get back up in there and doing an interview.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was Brian Haynes, driver of the number 86 truck. We're about to go back green. Case truck pulls in. Grayson Ward leads them to the green with the Amon brothers side by side for second place.
Yeah, you said it. This is going to be very interesting with them right behind him. I think they might be pretty fast compared to him, as we saw. I think it was Kyle on the inside get very loose on the exit of 2. He was at a roar of the throttle that let Kevin clear, so top 3 clear up out front.
You know, I don't know, if you have any siblings, Adam. I know for myself and my brother, we're very competitive. We're very different in so many ways. He does not race on iRacing, but I can only imagine just if I was in the shoes of Kyle or Kevin racing with my brother, you just want to beat him. I'm the little brother. I'm the younger guy, so you just always want to beat your brother. And I think.
Yeah, absolutely. But we see big move there from Kevin, and yeah, Kyle came down pit road there. I saw it too.
Yeah, Kyle came down pit road, so that was very short-lived from him. But Hayden Lowell already up to third place.
And he might catch these guys pretty fast. He looks really speedy with these fresh tires. You mentioned how great of a car it might have been, and we see it playing big advantages right here already in this run.
Yeah, and I was saying, I really liked the call that Lowell did. Wow. Big move.
Big block. That looked like Cam Caldwell.
Caldwell, that was Caldwell back there, the number 12 truck. This race, that was only the second caution we have seen in this race so far. So yes, they did just come down pit road for service, but I really like the call there. It means that Lowell has one last set of tires, but if this race continues to stay green the way it has, maybe he won't even need that set anyway.
No, you're absolutely right, Josh. If it keeps going the way it would be, they will only need one more pit stop, so one more set of tires, there you go. But if there is a late caution, and we have seen that, I think, at almost every race this season, if not all, he will be in big trouble unless he, manages his tires enough so he won't be doomed at the very end. So he looks pretty fast now. We saw him get by Kevin a couple laps ago, and he is trying to get by that 19 of Grayson Ward.
And he is closing the gap. Hayden Lowell has put down the fastest lap of the race, where Grayson Ward had it. Hayden Lowell now has it, and he turned a 30.52, it looks like, as Hayden Lowell now looking to the inside of Grayson Ward.
He almost got on the back of the 19 off of turn 2 and used that run to go to the inside into 3. He's going to take it. He might clear for the lead. He just barely can't do it yet.
He's clear now. Now Hayden Lowell, new leader at New Hampshire. He's going to be able to drive away from this thing. And he needs to protect his tires. And if this thing stays green to the end, we still have a lot of race to go. 97 laps left in this race. If this thing stays green to the end, Hayden Lowell, he needs to be paying attention. And as soon as he notices that 19 in pit road later, he needs to jump down there and take his service. Because we know Ward is fast on fresh tires, and I think if Lowell has any shot at this, with it if it does stay green, he's going to have to match what Ward does.
Absolutely, Josh. I think if there is going to be a way to beat that 19 truck the way this race is going, you're going to have to outsmart them, outsmart the 19 team. And that's what Hayden Law kind of did there. He just kind of pitted when no one, when it kind of seemed obvious not to pit, you know, as you mentioned. So very smart play, and we'll see if what one will win in the end here. Pretty exciting so far, though, and not even halfway yet.
Here's a good battle. Number 12 and 25, Radius Racing teammates, and the top two in points. Chocano and Caldwell. Caldwell, of course, not having a very good race he's going to want to remember, but Chocano out there.
Well, the way the caution fell and the way they took that pit stop kind of brought them together, because they had been separated by, what, 6-7 positions? Alonso was fighting for second, running third, and Cam was just salvaging top 10 positions there before that caution. So the strategy kind of brought them together, and see them running nose tail here, and that's going to be very infuriating for Alonso, who thought he was going to be able to have a pretty decent points day after that first run.
You know what, Adam? I don't know if you've noticed, but look at the right rear of the number 12. Caldwell does have a little bit of damage. You see the right rear spoiler not flush with the rest of it.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I see it there. He was in the Hornets' nest earlier, like I mentioned, back into the top 10, and that was just a mess earlier. So, not surprising he either caught another truck or got the wall, or probably something like that with the racing incident here at this short track. We've seen that a bunch tonight with other guys deep in the field, so no surprise there.
Alonso Chocano battling with the number 7 of Kevin Amon. Chocano was running third earlier before the green flag pit stop cycle took place. Chocano looking forward to getting back in third place.
We mentioned it earlier when Kyle Amon made his pit. Well, we didn't mention. I noticed it when Kyle Amon made his pit stop. We were covering a fight, so I couldn't mention it yet. But he stayed on the lead lap because he pitted so early. I think it was the restart lap he came in, so he saved a lap by doing that. But you see there, he's halfway down the back, and the leader is right there. So not much of room to play with if he wants to, keep his track position. He's gonna have to hope for a yellow soon before the 69 can catch him or something.
And speaking of that, the 69 truck, Hayden Lowell, he's not really able to pull away from Grayson Ward as much as I'm sure he would have liked to after getting the lead.
No, and we'll see how this evolves as we run deeper in this run. Obviously, we saw Grayson so fast no matter how long the run was, but tire difference, as we mentioned before, so see if it, equals out to some point. I'm sure it will. It's only, 10 laps? It's not that big of a difference at a track like this, I wouldn't think. I could be wrong, but we saw how much 10 laps really costed Alonso at the very end of the last run. So I don't know. We'll see here. Excuse me. It was the beginning of that green flag pit stop.
go ahead and turn it up. Right here we see number 60, Joey Chapman, getting real close to the back bumper of Cameron Caldwell. Chapman trying to make a move on the number 12. It's like for the top 5 spot, 5th place. Chapman, he got wide off turn 4.
He almost got the wall, yeah. If he didn't touch it, that was pretty close for that 60 truck. While we're talking about him, he has done pretty well this season in just 2 races, the last 2 at Vegas and Michigan, 10th and 7th. So obviously here today 6th. Oh! Oh! Big contact with the left side of Cam Caldwell there through 3 and 4, racing around Nick Beatty, who goes a 4th lap down to these guys. But, ooh, as I mentioned before, 6th place right now for the 60 truck, trying to continue his streak of top 10s in his 3 starts so far this year.
Back here, Zach Probst made a diving move to the inside of Matthew Rodriguez to take away that 7th spot. There was really no fight for it. Probst wanted it, he took it, and Rodriguez had no way to defend it. So, great move there by Probst to take away the 7th spot.
and he's started to pull away with it already. So we've seen him have speed in weird parts of the night and not in others. So he's climbing back up through the field, and I think he is driving with a long run mentality. You know, the way he's driving this track, he's moved up, which is, I think, well, he had. Now he goes back to the bottom a little bit, but. Well, interesting to see his progression through the night around this track, literally.
The gap between Hayden Lowell and Grayson Ward stays about the same as where it has been at throughout the course of this race. 75 laps to go. And, you know, Ward, he's doing this with 9-lap older tires than Hayden Lowell. So Ward doing a great job staying there with Lowell. Actually, I think Ward is actually quicker than Hayden Lowell right now.
Yeah, he's reeling him in, it looks like, and 79's keeping up with him too, and I think that's a repaired truck that was damaged earlier, and he is doing a good job keeping up with the leader right now, so pretty good run here for Grayson Ward, trying to get back to the lead and pass a 69, see if he can do it, and as soon as I mentioned that, he starts to lose more time here, but this should be a fun battle. If it goes, you know, green for a while, this should be fun to see these two duke it out. They're probably the two most dominant drivers we've seen so far this year in terms of single race speed, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, 79 getting real tight there. It's Dawson Allen.
Yeah, he needs to cool it off a bit. He's 44 laps down, and I think he's just trying to now, you know, pick up laps and stuff. We saw him get in the wall big earlier. Now he's fighting with the truck again, handling wise. We saw a big snap there. It looked like he had most of it figured out, but he needs to, you know, realize who he's racing against. He's racing 1-2 right now, and 1-2 in the championship are not much farther behind him. So I'm not really quite sure why he's wasting that 19 so hard there, as we saw a few laps ago.
Does allow Hayden Lowell to pull away just a little bit there, and Hayden Lowell was the quickest truck that last time by, so I think he started to feel the pressure of Ward and was able to pick it up just a little bit. Here we see the number 7 of Jevenamon. Trying to reel in Chocano a little bit. Take third place away.
Yeah, Alonso got by him not too long ago, but it looks like Kevin is faster right now, so we'll see if he can use this to his advantage. He's got a little wobbly there off of 4, kind of lost a little momentum there on that 25 truck, as he's going to send it real deep into 2 and 1. Wow. See if that pays off for him here off of 2.
Jevenamon trying to do what he can. He is turning faster laps than Chocano, but battle for the lead is heating up once again with Grayson Ward turning the faster laps now. Went faster than Hayden Lowell last couple laps. They come across the stripe. Hayden Lowell faster than Grayson Ward that time by not by much. Ward was a 31.88. Lowell an 8.7. So they're pretty much identical at the moment. But Ward really not wanting Lowell to get too far away.
No, I don't think he will, because they are going to start catching the tail of the field here really shortly. I saw a pack of 4 or 5 trucks right in front of them, so it should be interesting to see how that's going to affect these two. I think it's going to keep them closer together probably here, as we see big wobble, well, 19, excuse me, followed right in the tire tracks of the 69 off the corner, and kind of looked like he wasn't real happy with how it handled there off of 2. But we see him fighting with it there into 3, trying to catch him.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if that was the biggest light I saw of the 19 there, and that did allow Hayden Lowell to get a little bit of a gap, but Grayson Ward still a little bit faster than Hayden Lowell. We're getting pretty close, Adam, to win roughly how far into the race these drivers started their pit cycles. A lot of them started about 50 laps into the race. We've got 64 laps to go, and Grayson Ward, he actually stayed out for quite a while, as we saw there. It's Grayson Ward on 53 lap old tires, Hayden Lowell on 44 lap old tires. So I think pit window is opening up pretty shortly here.
Yeah, Grayson Ward is going to have to pit in the next 10 laps, I think, and it might be close for him on field depending what lap he pits, but he should be able to make it, I would think. So that shouldn't be an issue for him, but it could be depending on what lap he comes down. Wow! Big lane shift there between those two, and almost collided, but it was a pretty good run off of that 19 truck considering the 69's approach there.
These two drivers doing a great job at keeping it clean and having a fun battle at the same time as Grayson Ward tries that bottom lane all the way around the track, starts sliding up, and not able to make a move. As now Hayden Lowell goes a little bit wide through the corner. And they are still turning almost identical lap times. Now we got side by side.
And the sun came out too, and we see these two almost drove right into each other's doors there in 1 and 2, with Grayson Ward running the bottom and Hayden Lowell running the top of the track. They're going to do it again right here in 4, not as close though. Grayson couldn't quite get underneath Hayden there through the apex of the corner.
You know, if I'm Hayden Lowell, I'm going to hang on to this lead as long as I possibly can. But if Grayson Ward does get by me, I think I'm going to come down to pit right away. These two drivers, they are just so similar in times. Ward a 10th faster than Lowell that time by. Ward trying not to get into the back of Lowell, but it might have to come down to giving somebody a bumper for the win the way this race is going.
I wouldn't doubt on it with the way how tight these two have been racing each other already. Still 60 to go, and if they keep racing 1-2 like this for the rest of the race, emotions could boil over. They're still gapping third place Alonso Chocano, even while racing like this, and they have this entire time. So, to be for these final 58 laps now, it should be exciting here, especially with pit stops coming, should be right away here, as we see a little action off the corner there. Almost got the wall, did Grayson.
Hayden Lowell, he is really entering wide, which is helping him on the exit of the corner. But it's helping Ward on the entry of the corner close the gap. Now they've got the number 14 of Mike Corvu right behind them. Want to get a lap back. We do have the number 47 down pit road, Brett Bennett. So it looks like pit stops are starting. These drivers. Hayden Lowell still holding on to the lead. Brett Bennett, he takes his service and is back out on track. Now heavy traffic in front of the leaders. Clarence Feldner, he's going to stay all the way to the wall, and that really hurt Hayden Lowell's exit of turn 4 there. Grayson Ward wasn't able to really close in, but Ward, he dives it into the corner there. It's going to help Lowell on exit.
Yeah, Clarence Feldner was kind of left in the dark there. He's trying to get out of the way, but he didn't really know what lane they were going to be running in, and kind of, I don't think he could have really done anything different besides maybe Ward out of the gas mode, but that probably would have made it worse for Grayson Ward. So, third place in the championship coming into today, and rough day so far.
Number 30 of Alexander Kirk and 7 of Kevin Monner in pit road right now. More drivers pitting. Matt Chapman. Can't tell who the other driver is that's in down pit road. Through the telemetry, I can see these drivers still so close. So now they know pit stops are here. And now it's a game of who's going to make the first move. And if I'm Ward, I'm going to try to make my make the call that I'm going to pit as late as possible so Hayden Lowell can't get prepared to dive down in there as well. Ward does have to be careful with the number 14 right behind him, though.
Yeah, and Hayden Lowell can go probably 10 or probably even more than that laps longer than Grayson Ward, as we see him coming down pit road right now, both of them together. So Hayden Lowell is going to bring both of them down pit road with 19 spins.
Great recovery out of the 19 Grayson Ward, but I think the damage is done. Clarence Feldner is there. They made contact.
No. Off the 77, he was just trying to get through, and 19, I guess he didn't see him. More insult to injury there for Grayson Ward.
Man, that is the mistake you hate to see.
And the 69's gone as soon as the pit service begins on the 19 team. And see, he's going to be gone with the race lead, I would assume, as this winds down in the final 50 laps here. Wow, talk about a twist, Josh.
Man, that is a heartbreaker if you are Grayson Ward.
Absolutely, you know,
Oh,
best
man.
truck of the night so far.
Oh!
And, oh, no!
Hayden
Hayden
Lowell!
Lowell gets turned! Contact with Kyle Armand and a caution in the middle of the pit sequence. Alonso Chocano is the leader. Cam Caldwell is a lap down. Wow.
What in the world did we just witness, Adam?
Wow.
This
Well,
changes everything.
Grayson Ward isn't out of it. This kind of helps him because of how many lap down trucks there are, I think. And so few lead lap trucks. Hayden Law has to pit again, I would think, after that spin, right? Oh, this is gonna be some mess of a race when they get restarted. This is gonna be some wonky lineup. Oh boy. Oh no. But the 69 did a great job on keeping it out of the wall. Did you see that? Wow.
That was insane. Okay. I don't even know like what to process.
We need
right
a minute.
So here we see Alonso Chocano coming down pit road, take his service, and Kyle Amon follows suit as well. Hayden Lowell stays out, and I think that was a move to keep a lot of drivers trapped a lap down, but he was so far behind. He could think his tires are fine as well.
And they could be, you know, I mean, it was a spin, but it was a spin. It was a spin, and he kept it out of the wall, so I don't know. Who knows? And maybe he did it just to trap people a lap down, and he knows he's going to be at a tire disadvantage, but I mean, he could still be fine, so we'll just have to see how this plays out. I mean, it's not the craziest thing so far tonight, I don't think.
There are a lot of drivers that are going to get wave around from this caution, and Hayden Lowell definitely is not showing any signs of pitting, so Hayden Lowell will be the leader. Wondering, Zach Probst. Okay, Probst is not on the lead lap. So he was pulling to the side to allow Chocano. So real quick, I want to take a look. Let's see what happened here.
Oh man, that was slight contact. From the camera we saw, it looked like Kyle kind of hit him with the front bumper, or the way I saw it, looked like Kyle hit him with the front bumper, but that was door-to-door contact, and maybe even net code. I'm not quite sure on that.
It might have been net code, but I'm not so sure. Amon knew he was there.
Oh, it doesn't look like it, yeah. I would agree with that. But that's an interesting situation, just the way it all happened there. So we see, shows the top here on the choose, did Hayden Lowe in the lead, so let's see what Alonso can do on the bottom. Cam Caldwell did get the wave around, as you mentioned, so now back up to 8 lead lap trucks. Alexander Kurfan and Kyle Rauter also. And Grayson Ward, who is in 5th, so let's see what he can do here, and see if he can rebound after his pit mistake.
So pace truck is in. We're going to have 43 laps to go as soon as they take the green. Green flag is out. Great restart by Hayden Lowell. And great restart by Kevin Amon. But Chocano able to sneak past. I think Kevin caught the wall just a little bit there.
Yeah, he bounced back, it looked like, after wall contact, but he's still diving underneath Alonso for a second. He's going for it. And he's going to bring Kyle with him. He can't quite get to Alonso, who's going to do the crossover off
crossover. These two drivers not giving each other much room. Chocano sliding up. Oh, Chocano sideways.
Big slide off of 4 to the inside. Or off of 2, excuse me. And Kyle is going to give him a bump all the way down the back straightaway into 3. And now we dive to the inside for a pass, if he can. And Alonso cleared him back off of 4, but Kyle's going to go back for it, and 2 can't quite get it. And Kevin has pulled away from Alonso big time after that slide, and he's running down race leader Hayden Lowe, Josh.
And I'm wondering if that spin did affect Hayden's tires maybe a little bit too much. Kevin Amon, he is on 3-lap older tires than Hayden Lowe, so that spin might have just hurt Hayden's tires enough, or he's trying to take care of them. 40 laps to go, still quite a distance for this race.
And here comes Kevin with a dive into 3.
Looking to the inside, he's not able to do anything with it yet. Right there on the back bumper of the 69. He's going to look to the inside, does Kevin Amon. Now they're sliding way up the racetrack in the corner. Kevin Amon, Hayden Lowell side by side down the back stretch.
Kevin's really going to send it here on the inside real deep. He's going to try and clear him with a slide job, but Hayden's going to try and cross it over. They might wreck here off of 4. Door to door, and they don't. They keep it straight going great. Almost even at the line there, Josh.
I'll tell you what, the one that's loving this the most is at number 25, Alonso Chocano. Really desperately needing the points. Oh, Chocano sliding up, maybe tapping the wall there. Off exit of 2.
And Kevin's going to send it in deep again. Can't quite clear him like he did last time.
Still side by side. Chocano behind these guys. Like I said, he's just waiting for this to get single file so he can pounce. And oh my gosh,
Kevin got real tight on the brake there, it looked like. It looked like his truck just wanted to go straight right in the door of the 69, but all 3 of them made it work there somehow.
Absolutely great driving out of these drivers here. Kevin Amon is going to have to tuck in right between the 69.
He shut the door.
Oh! They're not giving each other much room.
Man. That was as close to racing we've seen all night tonight, and Alonso just punted Kevin in the corner almost, if not. And Kyle Amon is in the fight now too.
Both Amon brothers, Chocano, Hayden Lowell, and Zach Probst back there a lap down, wishing he was not a lap down, that he could get up in this too.
Well, honestly, at this rate, he might be able to take the lucky, or not the lucky dog, but just pass this guy straight up and just go right by them. Oh, no, that's too difficult. But he might get lucky if they all crash right in front of him.
These guys running 1, 2, 3, 4 under a blanket. Now Chocano right on the bumper of Kevin Amon, pushing him down the front stretch. Chocano looking to the inside, using that flatter part of the track to get underneath Kevin Amon. Now he's going to go to the outside, using as much of the racetrack as he possibly can to the outside of Kevin Amon. And Chocano is just absolutely frustrated right now that he can't get around these guys.
Oh, I bet all four of these guys are frustrated right now. They can't get by the other. And Hayden is frustrated. He's having to fight anyone. He wishes he could be 5 seconds down the road like the 19 was earlier.
Kevin Ward looking to the inside of Hayden Lowell once again. Trying to make it stick. They're going to be side by side on exit. Now Chocano trying to fill that hole. Kevin forces it. They're going to be 3 wide.
Chocano really sent it in there deep after pushing Kevin down the entire straightaway, almost sent him into the 69 and wrecked all 3 of them. But they are 3 abreast down the backstretch still at New Hampshire.
I don't think I have ever seen 3 wide at New Hampshire work.
Last that long.
or even last this long. Now Chocano is the leader. Looking for Hayden Lowell.
First with 1 lap in 1 corner.
Hayden Lowell maybe giving Chocano a little bit of the bumper there. Now getting squirrely off turn 2 exit. There's still 30
Kevin's
laps to go.
Really upset with the 69. Oh man, it chopped him off.
Now Hayden Lowell, he is trying to defend his 2nd spot and take the lead at the same time with Kevin Amon all over his rear bumper.
Meanwhile, Brian Haynes has also snuck into this fight. He's trying to get by the 62 for the Lucky Dog spot. That's the last battle in this pack. That's 5th and 6th trucks on screen in the overall shots. Right there they are. And that's only if we get a caution, but the way it was top 4 racing, we might get one pretty soon.
We're starting to spread out a little bit. Chocano.
I think that's for the best. Everyone needs to catch their breath.
I think we need to catch our breath as well there.
Oh yeah, that was exciting.
Now closest battle between the 4 drivers is the Amon brothers, Kevin and Kyle. And Kyle Amon, he's going to look to the inside, going all the way down to that flat part of the track. And he's going to actually pass Kevin Amon.
Yeah, that's an interesting move. As we saw earlier, Kevin was carving through the field all night, and Kyle was just following in his footsteps. As wow, Zach Probst almost spun out there, I believe, right behind these guys. He had a huge moment off of 4, and I think he either tagged the inside wall or jammed the brakes to make sure he didn't, and that was a huge save for him, so we don't get a caution here in the final 30 laps, but he will lose a chance at the Lucky Dog, and his night will probably end here as he will come into pit road, it looks like, and go down multiple laps.
Kyle Amon has caught up to Hayden Lowell after getting by his brother Kevin. Kyle looking to the inside. They're really tight. And I'm wondering if Kyle has speed, get up there and chase down Chocano if he's able to get by Hayden Lowell. 24 laps to go in this race, and Kyle's not giving Hayden much room. Hayden's still with the advantage.
And Alonso's driving away from these guys here. I think the 69's either holding them up now or has been this entire time, because Chocano is pulling away and these guys keep trying to force the issue around Hayden Lowe, but they just can't seem to do it because 69 has enough speed to just be in the way, because he has been one of the fastest trucks of all night, of course, even with a spin. And of course Kyle is the one who in turn spun out the 69, whether he knew he was there or not, or if it was netcode or not, but these two back nose to nose here as we close out on the final 22 laps of this race.
Kyle Lamont looking to the inside once again. Still advantage Lowell. You're 3 wide for a moment with that lap truck. Now Hayden not giving Amon much room on the bottom.
Yeah, I think something else happened with that lap truck and Alonso, because these guys closed a bunch on the 25 truck there entering 3.
Oh man. Amon, I think he had the lane he wanted there. Lowell, I think, went way too wide, but Lowell was able to capitalize, or not capitalize, but correct. Going way too wide. Clearing him on once again. $20 laps to go for these drivers. It's still anybody's race.
See the 19 back there, Grayson Wood, he's caught up to these guys finally in 5th position, to where he restarted at the beginning of this run quite a while ago, but he never was able to catch these guys. They put away, and now that we are coming to the close of this race, he's starting to rear them in after all that fighting we saw them do earlier. Could he come in and pounce with, you know, better tires after these guys fought the entire time to get to where they're at?
These guys continue to battle the way they have been. I think he has as good a shot as any of the drivers in the top 4 do. The Amon brothers, Lowell and Chocano. And Amon, he's still trying to put the pressure on Lowell. And yeah, if he thinks he has enough tire to go up and catch Chocano, he really needs to get around Lowell as quickly as possible. And, you know, for Hayden Lowell, you don't just pull over to the side to let him on go. I mean, this is 17 laps ago. You're still, you know, battling for points here. If this was early in the race, yeah, I might just be like, all right, you know, you go burn your tires up. I'll see you later. But no, these guys, they've got 17 laps to go. If you're Lowell, you can't just do that.
Yeah, and they're all running pretty close together, as you mentioned, and we'll see, you know, they can't really make moves right now, and that's interesting because I think, you know, I think it's just kind of the nature of the long run, because everyone's just, you know, where they are and they can't, you know, go anywhere because that's how fast they are, and Kyle is just struggling because he needs more speed, can't get it, and he wants to find a way around this 69 because he thinks he could be faster, but I don't think he is at this stage, and we see anything could happen here in the next 15 laps, and everything can change again. We saw the racing earlier, where it could be nail-to-nail, door-to-door action, but they've all just set in for this run with the way everything kind of happened earlier, so.
And look at this. Hayden Lowell now starting to pull the gap. He actually just turned the fastest lap out of all the drivers that last time by.
Yeah,
He is catching
yeah, Alonso's
Chicano.
been losing his momentum quite a while now, I've noticed, but it wasn't really enough for Hayden to do anything because he had Kyle right on his back bumper, and now that gap is completely reversed, as you see. 69 really sent it here into turn 3.
I'm wondering if Hayden just discovered something or has been saving something. That last time by advantage Chicano. Chicano actually dealing with a lap car.
Yeah, he got held up there and won, but I wouldn't count out Hayden saving something earlier when he was the leader. He might have been holding them up just enough to run the pace he wanted, and it worked, obviously. They couldn't get around him for the longest time, and it could play off here in the end run of this race, as he had trouble passing that lap truck too, I believe.
That time by Chicano with the fastest lap once again. But both drivers did struggle to get around the lap truck, so we'll see what it is this time by. And I'm noticing it looks like Hayden is getting a good entry, better entry than Chicano. And Chicano's getting a better exit. And that time, Hayden Lowell had the fastest lap by 100.
Yeah, Alonso's really going to have his work cut out for him here. 69 truck was obviously the second fastest truck, I believe, this race behind the 19, but we saw him get by the 19 now, so who knows, maybe he did have the best truck in the grand scheme of things, and if he takes the win, we saw how great he was at Bristol, so he obviously deserves one. But Alonso trying to hold on for dear life and kind of dupe one after that weird caution earlier,
Yeah, Alonso, he's gonna feel like, he might have stole one, but
Top 3 truck all night, obviously, but not the class of the field like we saw this truck in the 19 earlier.
Chicano, he will take it however he can get it. 9 laps to go now for these drivers, and Lowell is turning faster laps. No longer the fastest truck on the track. That's been Kyle on the last couple laps. I think Kyle is a little too late. Unless if something...
he would need to make quick work of both of them for something to happen the way the gap is right now, I think.
Absolutely.
And Hayden's losing time too, it looked like, to Alonso, just a bit.
And that is correct. For Chicano, 2/10 faster that time by. 8 laps to go.
11th place, Brett Bennett's just up the road from Alonso. He is 7th in the championship, but he is a lap down, about to be 2. I think he would get out of the way for these 2 drivers, but we'll see him here when he gets caught here in a couple of laps, well, a couple of seconds it looks like here. As the field rolls into turn 1 too.
Chicano just trying to put together these last few laps as perfect as he possibly can. I bet he's over the radio right now to Brett, having Brett stay in a lane.
Well, these 2 have had run-ins in the last couple weeks, so I wouldn't doubt, him kind of being in the way just a little bit more than he needs to be. As you see there, kind of swapping lanes right in front of Alonso. So Alonso's going to get to the inside of him, and clear him in one corner, though.
Chicano does make the pass. 5 laps to go for Alonso. Damn. Big roll. Last few laps here. He's trying to close the gap on Chocano.
He just sends it so deep into the corners there in turn 3 you saw, but it's gonna pay
Caution.
off of 4 and caution with 3 to go. Oh my goodness. We are gonna have a sprint to the finish with 8 lead lap trucks at least. Oh no, it's Kyle Amon.
Kyle Amon, I believe the 1986.
The 60 has a lot of damage, but he might have just come out of the pits.
Alright, let's take a look and see what happened here. I am not finding what happened.
This is Brian Haynes.
Brought out the caution.
Wasn't it Kyle Amon on the... Oh, big snap there from the 79. Wasn't Kyle spun out on the front straightaway?
There we go.
Yeah. There we go. Did he have contact? No. He was way in front of him.
I'm really confused right now.
It was Kyle Amon who spun, I believe. Because there was Kevin, got on the brakes, and there was Kyle just spun in the track, in the middle of the track. So it looked like Kyle got spun off a 4 or something.
Having a little bit of technical difficulties. We might not be able to get what happened. So, yeah, apologies there for the technical difficulties. Looks like Alexander Kerfan and Grayson Ward stayed out here. No, I'm sorry. Grayson Ward did come down pit road. It looks like Grayson Ward only took 2 tires. He had a 9-second pit stop, so Grayson Ward on 2 tires. Chocano on 4, as well as Hayden Lowell.
Oh boy, Chocano getting the front row here, right? Did I see that right, or did I miss one truck?
Negative. We've got.
Okay, I see it now. I saw the lineup wrong. Sorry. I see. I was gonna say if they gave Alonso the front row, game over.
So Kerfan chooses the bottom, and he's actually gonna. Oh,
now he pulls over.
And
did we get penalties? Oh man. I would think those would be choose cone penalties.
I'm not really sure what happened, but that would be my guess as well.
Or pit violations or something, because they stayed out. So now there's this. Maybe they wanted. That's confusing. I don't know, but we're going to go green with
Pace truck is
Alonso
in.
and
Alonso
Hayden.
Chocano hard on the gas. 2 laps to go in this race. And having him on. Trying.
He's going to take second from Hayden here, whether they like it or not. Almost contact there off of 2. Crash in the back. We're going to stay green, no caution.
Oh! Kevin Alon
Kevin
goes for a spin.
Kevin got spun out by Hayden Law after the caution came out. Oh my goodness.
Wow. So the original crash, I saw it as well. I believe it was a spin by the number 60 of Joey Chapman. Let's actually go ahead and take a look. Chapman just gets loose off turn 2 and hits the wall. And that was the reason for the caution. Meanwhile, Hayden Lowell gives a little bump and run.
That was just bad timing, I think, honestly. It looks like Kevin just gets on the brakes at the wrong moment, and Hayden just barely clips him and sends him around.
I do agree.
But looking at the leaderboard, it looked like Kevin got his spot back, right?
Yes, Kevin is P2. So, yes, I agree with you. I don't think that was intentional. I think it was just bad timing, more of a coincidence that it just happened at that time.
Yeah, that was just literally just an accident, right? Like, you could see with how zoomed in that camera was. The 7 just kind of get on the brakes. For the yellow, I would assume, and the 69's kind of still going in for the corner.
Adam, I don't know about you, but this race, I mean, it's like riding escalators all day. The excitement has gone up and down, and right back to being up, and now we're gonna have another green-white checker here to finish off this race.
Yeah, it's kind of been the trend of this season, really, I think. Exciting finishes after, great racing throughout the entirety, but, they have their long runs and they have their lows and they have their highs, especially at the end. And I think we're in for another one here with how great we've seen the racing tonight and how fierce these guys are going to be. They wouldn't even let up under caution as we saw. So, see the choose going here, what's going to happen with Alonso taking the bottom, no surprise as the leader, and Kevin taking the top.
Hayden Lowell taking the bottom. Reuter also taking the bottom, and Caldwell, where did he come from? Taking the top, going to restart in that 4th position, 2nd outside. Grayson Ward going to be behind him, 3rd in the 3rd lane, with Kyle Reuter in that 5th position. Oh, pull them belts tight one more time, boys. We're about to go back to green. Pace car is in the safety of pit road. Chocano goes Lowell, ready for that. Great restart by Hayden Lowell.
He's going to really send it here into turn 1 and try and clear Kevin on, but he's not going to be able to do it. Kevin's going to fight on the outside for now. And they're going to still be at least door-to-door down this back straightaway, and Alonso's going to love that, but they might have a shot here in 3. No, Alonso's gone with it, and Hayden gets clear for the moment.
Hayden Lowell now is the sole possessor of P2. White flag is out. Hayden Lowell just needs... Oh, not that! As he hard into the outside wall in turn 1. Big crash!
Wow, huge crash in turn 1. Matthew Rodriguez, Brian Haynes, oh my goodness. But Alonso Chocano driving away with it, Josh. What a disastrous wreck.
I don't even know.
Cameron Caldwell is going for P2. But Alonso Chocano.
Alonso Chocano is the winner of the race. Kevin Amon finishing second. Cameron Caldwell, third place. Where did he come from?
He almost got second. He was on the inside of Kevin in turn 3 and 4. He was so close to continuing his streak. But Alonso wins for the second time this season, Josh.
I don't even know what this race is anymore. that was...
Wow.
I give Hayden a lot of props for trying that there, and that was him trying to win a race, and you know, unfortunately, it did not work out. A lot of drivers got caught up in that, but
that was a messy wreck, as we see. The 19 having fun with Alonso there on the front straightaway. But wow, what a race. What a finish, as you mentioned. And yeah, what a heartbreak for Hayden Lowe, though, trying to, you know, try to fight for this win, and he, you know, wrecks like that on the final lap, going for it, but...
Man, I don't even know what to say anymore, Adam. Interesting stat, I guess. The last time I commentated a New Hampshire race that was a Truck Series race, Alonso Chocano won. And I believe that's been the only time that I have commentated a truck race at New Hampshire. So Alonso Chocano, if I'm correct, is 2 for 2 at New Hampshire on JCTV involving trucks.
One thing I want to mention that we brought up slightly earlier was the penalties for the 30 and who else was it? The 19, the 30 and the 19. Andrew Kerfin and Grayson Wood, who were penalized on the second to last restart on 1 to go. They did get choose cone penalties, so that's what took them off the front row both, and that kind of really changed the entire dynamic of the last 5 laps.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate for those two drivers. You know, especially you know, the heartbreaker that Ward was already having after having such a great race. That you know, really turned into heartbreaker right as that pit sequence happened, and he spun for that on entry.
Yeah, that took him out of the race, unfortunately, and or took him out of the running for the race we thought. Got saved by that caution, and then unfortunately that pit penalty, and then he could never rebound after that. 5th place for him after sitting on pole and leading the majority of the first 100 laps of this race, I believe.
Let's go ahead and bring in our 3rd place finisher, Cameron Caldwell, driver number 12. Cameron, I'm not really prepared right now to do interviews, but I just. How in the world did you get third? Let's just start there. What did it take for you to get third?
That is a great question. There was a lot of wrecking and some more wrecking and some more wrecking and some angry drivers, and it all just got me third. I guess I don't even know where to start with that. That sucked for me. Like the whole race, I cannot save tires at all. I could not run the track properly. I just couldn't do anything. So I was just trying to hold on for a top 10. And those last couple of cautions obviously changed the whole thing, and some tempers flared. And, well, I'm sitting here with you guys now. So things happen, apparently.
I just. That was an absolute crazy race. I told Adam, it was like going up and down a bunch of escalators. The race went up, and then it went down, and right back to up. Is that, from behind the wheel, is that how you felt overall throughout this race?
I'm probably the wrong person to ask about that, because I wanted a caution every 5 laps, because I cannot run more than 10 laps probably without going straight every corner. So yeah, it felt like, we had those long runs, and they felt very long, I can tell you that much. And those cautions were nice for me, obviously. So I'm not going to complain too much, but there's a lot of stuff to digest in those last 20 laps or so. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. There's definitely the momentum of the race is definitely up and down, but I think with just how the race is going, that's what's going to happen.
Well, before we let you go, is there any sponsor team shout outs you'd like to give? Who gets it done for you?
Yeah, thanks to my team, Radius Racing. Thanks to all my teammates. Congrats to Alonso on the win. He's been needing one for the last few weeks. So I'm glad he got one, even though it hurts me in the points a little bit. I'd rather be Radius than someone else, so I'm fine with it. Thanks to my main sponsor, Night Grid Network. Thanks to the Pits News. Thanks to the rest of our sponsors, C2 Graphics, MMT, Shots, Left Coast Revivals, and everyone else that gets it done for us and helps us out. And we'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.
Alrighty, well, that was number 12 of Cameron Caldwell. Third place finisher here tonight, and I believe Adam Kuhn is caught up with our second place finisher, Kevin Amott.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, Kevin. Yeah, hey, Kevin. Congrats on the run tonight. And can you talk about that long run with racing everyone, especially your brother, there throughout the middle run of this race?
Well, Alonso won, but it was a good run. I can't complain too much about it. I got like 5 laps of practice, started deep in the field. But Hampshire's always been a good track for me in anything I run in. So it was fun racing with Hayden. We were racing really hard there with 50 to go, 20 to go. I don't really remember. We were racing really hard. I gotta apologize getting the bag of him there on the late flag lap. He entered lower than I expected to, and I'll take full blame on that. He has every right to be mad at me. He might owe me one, that's fine. But it was fun. It was real fun.
What was it like getting to race your brother like that throughout the middle of the run? I saw that you guys both started out back, and you kind of led both of you through the field. And what was that like, just carving through the field so early on?
Oh, it was fun, man. It's always fun passing cars. It's always fun racing with Kyle. We race a lot on the short track side, modifieds and such. But we always race hard and good together. Like I said, it's always fun passing trucks. Wish I could have passed one more, but no, that's for another day.
All right, congratulations on the win tonight. Sorry about that last lap again, and I'm glad you brought it up because pretty pretty dramatic way to end the race. So, is there anyone you want to shout out for this race and the run tonight?
Yeah, I gotta thank Cameron and all the guys putting on this race. It's real fun. Working with EPI lately since November really has bring my driving to a new level. But yeah, I gotta thank my brother for getting me in the league. So that's about it. I mean, just thank you to everybody that showed up, watched, and hope you enjoyed the show.
All right, thank you. Thanks again, and congrats.
Thank you.
That was second place finisher Kevin Amon. Next up, I go down to Victory Lane, where I've caught up with winner of tonight's event, Alonso Chocano. Alonso, what a race! Overall, I don't know if you even saw yourself winning that about halfway through this race, seeing the race that Lowell and Ward put together. You were running really well, third place for the most part behind them, but interesting mistakes on their ends was able to put you in position to get the win.
Yeah, I mean, man, it's just I really needed this win. I really wanted this win. I came in just knowing I could do it here. I personally not many people love racing here, but I do. I love New Hampshire. It's a really fun race. Man, it was just those two guys were just really battling out, really racing aggressively, and they made some mistakes. I just wanted to keep my truck clean the whole time, and I knew maybe they're faster than me in certain parts of the run, but I felt like as long as I could maintain a clean truck and play things smart, I knew I was going to be able to have a chance to get that win, and I'm just so glad I was able to work out, and it was really fun racing them, and especially making that three wide pass for the lead was was really cool from my point of view on how it looked from you guys' point of view, but from my point of view, it was it was a pretty cool pass. One of my favorite moves of the season so far.
And I just want to ask about that three wide move. When you realized you were three wide, what was going through your head? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of talent in this series, and it takes a lot of trust to make a move like that. But when you realized you were three wide, what was the first thing you thought?
Well, to be honest with you, I was getting really tired of Kevin. They're just I felt like there was just over aggression there, and I knew I had better tires than the both of them. I felt like I was faster than both of them at that point, so I just wanted to get past them. So my patience was wearing thin, and I did kind of push Kevin into the corner. I didn't really see where the 69 was in the corner. I knew he was somewhere up there, and so I was kind of hoping those two didn't get together and spin out. So that's why I just kind of went really, really low, and knew that the 69 was gonna move up because I did kind of push him into the corner. So just glad I was able to stick and be able to come out on top with that move.
As far as points go, this does obviously cut the gap down in points between yourself and Caldwell. It was a 17-point gap difference coming into the race. Caldwell, of course, finishing third. I'm sure it's not a big gain into his lead as you would have liked, but is this going to be good momentum moving forward? Next week we do start the second half of the season at Watkins Glen. So you think this is going to be momentum to now? Okay, we proved we could win again. Got our second win of the season. Now let's go out there and continue beating that number 12 every week.
Yeah, typically I would I would say yes, to that question all the time. Unfortunately, we're going to a racetrack with it, which historically, Cam has been really good at. He's a really good road course racer, and historically, that's I would say, if I did have a weakness, road courses are definitely my weakness. So, you know, um, any other track, I would say for sure, like any week we go to, I feel like I can win. But this one track coming up at Wilkins Glen is going to be tough. I'm just going to try to minimize damage, just because I know he's going to be really, really good. So once again, just going to try to maintain a clean truck, try to stay out of trouble, and hopefully things work out.
Alrighty, before we let you go, any sponsor team shout outs you'd like to give? Who gets it done for you?
Yeah, big shout out to everyone at Radius Racing. Great group of guys. I love all my teammates there. Shout out to Celsius Energy. I glad to be able to have them on the hood. Shout out to In the Pits News for sponsoring the team and also this league. And also, I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting. JCTV does a great job always. So thank you guys for being able to bring the show to our friends and families.
Alrighty, well, congrats once again, Alonso, on the win, and great run tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was the driver with the number 25 truck, Alonso Chocano, taking home the checkered flag and the victory at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Adam, I'm still just a loss for words as to what we just witnessed. This race was absolutely insane. The amount of change that went on through the race. Seeing Chicano go from running third most of the race to being able to battle for the lead, and that 3 wide move that he did put on to take the lead away was absolutely incredible. And of course, Hayden Lowell and Grayson Ward having a couple of unfortunate mishaps tonight, heartbreakers on their parts, and I'm just speechless.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Grayson Ward, dominant truck, sitting on the pole, and then Hayden Lowe leading the rest of the laps basically until the end there, and then getting wrecked there on the last lap, so he couldn't even have a truck to show for it really. So unfortunate end for him there, as you mentioned, and it runs back throughout the entire field. Just everyone who either got caught up in that crash or had a decent night going just kind of fade away there in the closing lap, especially in those last couple of restarts with everything happening going on.
Well, Adam, next week we shift our focus from here at New Hampshire, which you could say kind of plays out like a road course in a way, a little bit of downshifting and upshifting, but it's just from fourth to third and back to fourth. For next week, we're going to a actual road course, Watkins Glen, where they're going to be all over the gears, up and down, all throughout the racetrack. Our only road course race of the season, Adam. What are you expecting from that race?
I think you're right. They are going to be all over the track because it's a brand new track to iRacing, and a lot of these guys have had time to really take advantage of it. Last week it was in officials, so a lot of guys use that, and it's going to be interesting because we don't know who's going to be fast there quite yet, besides the names we see in road racing in other series all the time. But these guys, like you mentioned, haven't been to a road course yet, so we'll see hopefully new names up front, different names popping up, and guys trying to learn what the road racing capabilities are, and others who are trying to just get through the week, as we've already heard. So, should be exciting, and second half of the season begins next week, as you mentioned earlier. So, interesting dynamic going into this championship here in the second half.
6 races down, 6 races to go. The points battle, it's still open for a few drivers left running. We've not seen a driver take home 2 JCTV full awards. So the season-ending full award bonus is still out there as well for those drivers. We're gonna see an interesting race next week, I think. Going and seeing these drivers make left and right turns at Watkins Glen, one of my favorite road courses on the schedule, on the NASCAR schedule, that is. So looking forward to that one, and this race definitely, I keep saying it, it's a crazy race overall. Alonso Chocano walking away the winner of the race. From all of us at JCTV, Adam Kuhn, myself, Gage, who wasn't here tonight, the admins of the series, Alonso and Cam, and all the drivers. Thank you for watching, and hope you continue to tune in. See you next week at Watkins Glen. Till then, stay safe out there, and Happy New Year. It's 2022.